All right, here I am. I am live. It is Tuesday, 7 p.m. Thank you all for being here with me. Um, Thumbs up, man. See some thumbs up. Carol, sorry I don't have good news. I don't think I hardly ever do a live because I have, but maybe I would at the same time. Hello, everyone. Again, glad you made it. Glad everybody's here. I didn't really have a great deal to talk about, but everybody wanted me to like schedule the live that way they could be here live. So what I decided was I'll do it at Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And there we go. Did TB off himself? Not to my knowledge. I would hope that he would wait for Delphi to do that. I got a letter in my email, and the person lived in the UK. I wish I knew who that person's name was, but I don't. And I tried to look it up, but it was like in my email where I'd already checked and I couldn't find their name. But their question was this: did the second person that seen the suspect at Delphi say that he was either wet or bloody? Well, the second person that seen him that day was flannel shirt guy. Okay. So flannel shirt man definitely did not say that he was bloody because the police called the search off because there was no signs of foul play. Now, he had seen him leaving and didn't think anything of him. Apparently, he didn't come off as too suspicious because when Derek had asked him after flannel shirt guy was coming back from the railroad bridge, if he had seen two young girls down there, ages 13 and 14, he said, no, I seen a lady and her friend on the other side, but not two young girls. Well, he didn't think because these girls were answering their phone that there was any cause of alarm, and probably didn't say anything until much later. So, I can conclude from that he did not say that he was wet or bloody or anything like that, because if he seen the guy going out with blood on him and the guy's missing two girls, he probably would have made a connection right there. So anyway, I don't think that was said like that, but I do want to stand to the side that I don't know what he said. But I think from knowing that it's safe to assume that nothing like that was stated by him. If anybody's got any questions, I'm just going to do them off the chat tonight. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. And they were in the water. Now, here's my answer to that question. Did he look wet? Go put on a pair of denim pants and then step in the shower and spray from the top of your knees down. Then go outside, walk for 25 minutes, and walk up to people and ask them if your pants look wet. No. They're not going to. Because when you're walking around in denim, the water is pulled down by gravity, and it don't take long for it to drip out the bottom, and then in a little bit of no time, probably 10 to 15 minutes, you're not even going to notice the separation line from where it was fully wet to where it's dry. It's not going to have that real darkened effect. Now, people think, well, they went across the creek, he's going to look like he just hopped out of the lake. No, it was like 25 minutes later. He most certainly didn't look like that. And again, I'm telling you, look, I used to swim in the lake all the time when I was little. Have cut off blue jeans, man. Hop in, get out of the lake, and 15, 20 minutes later, your pants are almost dry. Denim does not just sit there and hold that. It will drip out of it and dry. That's why it's denim. That's why it's hardy. That's why people used like denim in the Old West. It's a hardy material, man. Very durable. Yeah, you know what? I also wanted to touch on this too with the search party. Everybody's like, well, why didn't they search there? Why didn't they go there? Well, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm believing on the search party. Now, you had two missing girls. I'm sure that the family had told law enforcement, look, they come out here often and they know the area. one of the girls, not making a name on this, had lived right up the road on that south side from where they was abducted. They wouldn't have got lost there. I'm sure the family would have told them that. They wouldn't have went out hiking and got lost. There would be no place for them to go get lost at. There's like County Road 200, County Road 300, Highway 25. And, if you're going this way, it dead ends. You would have to go up onto somebody else's property to keep going back east on the south side. Now, on the north side, where the bodies were found on RL's property, he was asked, and so was that not McCain's, Maxwell, who owns the property right there adjoining? They was asked, so was Ron Logan. Ron Logan said, yeah, you can go back there and search my property. But now when you head east on the north side of the bridge where they were found, right there where you hit that cemetery, there is a very deep ravine, very deep. Now, if you was to walk up on that, I think that your thoughts would be this. Well, the girls didn't walk up to this and then keep traveling to it. Why? They were here to hike. They wouldn't keep going that route. So that's why I'm assuming that they weren't found that night. But two, there were no signs of foul play. Nobody had put foul play together. Nobody put two and two and said, well, there was a guy leaving. There was people there all that day, I'm sure. But at that time. Yeah, you would still be wet. Would it show? Would you stick out like a sore thumb? Would everybody say, ha ha, suspicion on that guy who's got damp pants? No. It wouldn't happen. And in fact, I doubt that after that long, especially of walking up that and then back down to 501, I doubt that if he was walking by you this way, that you would even notice that his pants were damp. Yeah. And there could have been. But now, if I was law enforcement at that time that night, there were no signs of foul play. The trail had been searched, okay? Even adjoining property to the south and the east, with the other one going up to Ronald Logan's. That's why they called it off. This don't happen in Delphi. The thoughts probably were they may have been abducted or they may have left, one or the other. But they're not right here. We'll pick the search up tomorrow, but they do not appear to be here. Now, looking back, when it's a double murder, everybody's like, well, why didn't they call it? Nobody knew that. It was two missing girls. Looking back on it when it's double murder, that's one thing. But to sit there at that time and be law enforcement where it does not look like murder, it looks like maybe abduction. That, would be the thing. And I stand on law enforcement's side on that. I mean, they stopped the search, but they did it for the right reason. It didn't look like they was there, but they were still going to pick it up the next day, because if they weren't right there, then they had traveled off. They had traveled off, knowingly traveled off, and if it's two girls that's lost in the woods, it's exactly what Sheriff Lesenby had said. The biggest fear that they would have if they are out there and they are not responding, to us would be the weather, because it did get very cold that night, very cold. What? No. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I know I never felt unsafe about covering this case. Whoever it was, I look. I'm not getting to the bottom of this case. I mean, the only reason that my suspect now came to me was because he was tipped to Delphi, and that's what I heard. When I looked into him, this is what I found, and upon finding all this, that's when I said, yes. You know what? I think it took me about 30 days till I could conclude, you know what? He is Bridge Guy. He is the Delphi suspect. By a twist? I have no idea what the twist is. I mean, there is no twist. It's like a new direction. The new direction to me is killing the old direction because they already know who it is and they don't want to investigate anymore. They hand out information that they know is not correct, And anybody calling on that information, they know they don't have to investigate. That's how you stop it. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, see, and nobody now understands. I don't know why they called off that very fitting fashion. They cut it off for the reasons I mentioned. It did not have any foul play. There was no signs of foul play. The girls went off and got lost right there. They knew where they were. The family was telling law enforcement that, safe to conclude, abducted or they left. Looking back when it's murder, that's when everybody says, well, why did they do that? It didn't look like murder then. Could have been injured, but where? Where would they have been injured at? Answer that. Where would they have been injured at? At the trails where they were supposed to be. The trail was searched. The whole trail was searched, people. That whole trail was searched, even adjoining properties. Yeah, well, you know what? Searching all night would have mattered. It would have. It would have saved one of the girls' life. And if she was alive, they could have got a seriously realistic looking sketch from her. I mean, I can tell you that they would have known exactly what the guy looked like. Well, you're asking me shit that I don't know. Why didn't the FBI? I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. I'm not the FBI. I mean, I can't answer for them or local or anything like that. All the best I can do is just give you the information that I had. 20. Hang on a minute. Oh, jeez, man. 76 people here, and I got 20 thumbs up. Does anybody out there have a steel-toed boot? My groin needs it right now. God. From what I understand, Mom did Jeremy, it was found at the crime scene, probably in or right around Levy. I'm guessing because they never came out and said point blank exactly where it was found. You know, if it's information, on stuff like that. Now, I've called law enforcement, but I know that there are some questions that they can't answer to. They won't. It's part of the investigation. They will not. Now, I had asked law enforcement. I asked Sheriff Lesenby. I said, "What is the timestamp?" Okay, when we see the pictures of him crossing that bridge, at what time was that? Because we know the picture of Abby was taken at 2:17. Well, how far behind him was he? You see where I'm at? To where if he was crossing that bridge, where was he back behind him at that time? Well, he's like, yeah, I don't know if we can give that to you as part of the investigation. Whoa. I'll ask the investigators, so on. I'm like, yeah, great. So I wait a couple days, get back a hold of him. Anything on that? Oh, yeah, because the code, blah, 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 something. They don't want to give it to you because it's part of the investigation. So in other words, we don't know. Thank you. Could have helped narrow stuff down, but hey, whatever, man. Whatever, law enforcement. That's fine. I don't want the killer to get caught and go, well, they gave him the timestamp on when I was crossing the bridge. Looks like I walk. BS. Yeah, see, you know what? I could have heard on the moon. I could have heard that they do it and then they took it off of a cloud. Anybody could hear anything. And you know what hearing stuff means? It means it's a rumor. It was never released. Anybody saying to where you could hear them say is just making crap up. That's what I avoid here. I don't make crap up. I don't fall in line with Facebook theories. I don't give almost said it, man. Almost did. I don't give two screws or a crap about it, man. I don't. Yeah, okay. You read online. Well, that's somebody making something up because they have no idea what happened. None. No idea. Anybody saying that is on there trying to get somebody's attention to make them believe their BS, but that's it. Okay. Anybody else want to cover something they heard? Because I'm just going to say the same thing. See, she never ran away. But we don't know. We don't know. Law enforcement never mentioned that. Anybody saying otherwise, taking a guess, and people are believing it. We don't know what happened. From the time he got there, how do I know? I mean, how do I know? Was somebody there? If somebody was there and seen that, then they seen the suspect. That's how I know. Mike and Becky don't know. Law enforcement doesn't tell them. If you are hearing that from them or someone who said they heard it from them, they're lying. I can tell you right now, the family ain't told anything. At the briefing, what did law enforcement say? The family was just shown this morning. First time they'd ever seen that video. Now, you think law enforcement goes there and hands them every detail of their investigation so they can sit there and tell you on a different social media network? No, that's why they don't tell them. Who, me? Maybe not. I may not have read the whole thing, and if not, I do apologize. Well, look, and this is me, and I don't really want to touch upon this. I think that if the suspect did not have the means to put duress in him, I think that one or both of them would have ran. I mean, that would be a normal thing that a girl that age would do. Run, get away from the guy, leave, exit. But the serious fact that that didn't occur says that he had a means to control and put them under duress. Now, the only thing that helped me in that was the thoughts from the beginning that the suspect had a handgun. That made the most logical sense. If he had a handgun, that's immediate duress. Hey, I won't kill you. Do as I say. Do as I say. You see? And then kind of lead him to where you want. But aside of that, I mean, if he had nothing, the girls would have ran. I mean, they would have. I mean, there's only a couple of things that you can think of. One, a handgun, two, a knife. Even with the knife, the other one could have split if he went after the other one. The other one could have took off running. Oh, howdy, Amanda. Oh, was that Libby's sister? And I forget her name right off the top. Not good to mention it anyway, but she had said that when she dropped him off, that there was 30 to 40 children at the trail. At the trail. She dropped him off at 1:45. Now, if that was so, would there not have been a whole bunch of people that seen the suspect? A bunch? I mean, there's only that one trail. That's it. If there was 30 to 40 kids there, a lot of people would have seen that person. And again, she didn't get out of the vehicle. And I think that when she went back, she had seen those people there with the search party and had thought that they was there. But I'm telling you right now, they were not there at that time. No. And see, it did not happen. Nancy, I need you to verify that because I know factually it didn't happen. It did not happen. Not when she dropped him off. I could drive right to where she dropped him off. And from right there in February, I'll say, where could she have seen 30 to 40 kids? Where could she have seen them right there? Were they all huddled up right there? Because she couldn't have. There's no way that she could have. She didn't get out of the vehicle. She dropped him off. And she was a ways off that trail. She could not have seen him there. And again, I think that she was saying something that fell into place after the fact. Harvey Carroll is. He wrote a book, and if you ordered it, I am so sorry, man. I didn't. But the 5 people who did left their remarks on Amazon, and they were not happy about it. They were very displeased that they got that book. They found out it was exactly what I knew it would be. When he was like sending me all the stuff he's got, I'm like, I think one of them said it was wrote by a kindergartner that knew nothing. Hang on there, Marlene. Let me show that for you. There you go. Hello. Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, it was. Exactly. It was a stranger to them. And it works like this. If it wasn't a stranger, then the family, when they seen the picture, would knew who it was. Somebody would have knew exactly who it was. Now, I want to point this out, and I probably have in the past. And if you've heard this many times, and if you're sitting here just like saying he's repeating himself, that's because I am. But now what I did was I stopped right there. I was dropped off. Well, we stopped at right there where the girls were dropped off, where they was dropped off. Now we know the time that they was dropped off, and we know the time that Abby's picture was taken on the bridge at 2:17. All right. Now I started to walk, and I was very slow, very casual, at a pace that was a little less than what I would expect two girls that age to be walking, like right at that time, right there. So I start walking. I got to the bridge and I halted for about 15, 20 seconds and then continued up. Now, when I got out there to that area, to the platform, I walked out, got ready, and I said, okay, give me the time. Now, I had got there 8 minutes before they did. That means that there was 8 minutes of time that they was doing something. Maybe they was taking pictures. I don't know what they was doing. They was hiking. I can't draw or create something there. But what I am pointing out is that we know the suspect was there at that time waiting. I think that he may have said something to him. Okay. That there may have been words exchanged. Now, I'm not talking angry. I think he was trying to make conversation, maybe in a creepy like way. All right. Now, when they headed out and kept going and got down there to the bridge and then crossed, once they got to the south side, this is why when he walked up to him, he said, guys, not girls, guys, down the hill, because they had already had words. Now, I can say that. I can't prove it. I wasn't there. But what I'm saying is it does give good reason via the lost time and the fact that he started that with guys, not girls. They got this guy already. Very bad. They already got him, and they know that. They know they got him. No, they never specified that, Marcus. They never said it's a different part of the recording. They said it's one clip. It's one guy speaking. No, they never said that, Marcus. Please don't imply things that were never stated. What that does is that makes my channel like Facebook when you do that. I don't want things stated that never were. No, it was not clipped together. That's when he walked up. And again, when he said guys, that's why you hear that static right there. He said guys. Now, I believe, and I don't know, that was Libby sticking it in her pocket. Okay, because if she was holding that phone when they got over there, he would have said, hey, why are you still holding that phone? You see where I'm at? When he walked up and said, guys, she already knew. When he was coming across that bridge, she already felt suspicion. There was a reason for her to feel suspicion when that guy was crossing toward him. Now, he could have been just another hiker, and there would have been zero suspicion. But it does place some credence on the fact that they had words before they got to the bridge. Yeah, it isn't leaves. That's static. It's not leaves. It wasn't in the leaves. That is not the sound of static. Listen to the second recording when he says, guys, you're that. That may be her sticking it in her top, wherever she stuck the phone. And you know what? It would be super cool to a degree, but understand if that recording went on through the full of it. Because if it went on through the full of everything onto the other side, then they have a good amount of audio with that man. That's going to really help nail him. I mean, I think that they got the full whoopty on this dude. Yes. You know what? Friends and family. And this is another thing, because when people bring friends and family up, I tell them that. The first thing, the very first thing that the FBI investigated was friends, family, and anybody that could have seen anything on the internet. And there was none because it was never put on the internet. Anybody saying he catfished him, well, he was there hours beforehand. Okay. And they did not post that the day before. They came up with the idea and left. He was already there waiting. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Bella Blue, is that it could have been the sound of her sticking it in her top or in her pocket. Because when he walked up and said, guys, down the hill, she already had suspicion. That's why she pulled it out and put it on record. When he walked up and had said that, she was probably sticking it in her pocket or in her like top of her pants, something like that to keep it hidden. That way she could get his voice. And which was great, a great job. But what's it been now? It's been over 2 years. I want that suspect announced, and I want it yesterday. I want it 2 years ago. It's been a very long time. Yeah, yes, but that is very Facebook, Marcus. I don't talk about that. That is hearsay, nothing more. Nothing factual can be looked at from that. Period. And again, aside of that, it does nothing to find the guy. All it is curiosity that people want to know. No, I just do this, Carol. Well, okay. My guy, look at Evansdale and the reverse date. And if you look at the crimes, and you look at both of them, and I mean, like, go look up Evansdale. Look at the crime as to how it took place. This is my thought on this. The guy was northbound on 380. He took exit 70 to the nature trail at Myers Lake. He pulled up there. The witnesses seen his vehicle. They said it was an older style, boxy Ford Bronco. It was white. They didn't say Bronco, a Bronco-like. So it could have been a Bronco or one much like it. Now, that was in 2012. Okay. Now, when he stopped there, he seen that there was 2 children's bikes parked at the entrance and started hiking the trail. He found the girls, but we know that he got them back to his car either by saying that it was an emergency and getting them there right away, or by means of a gun, because the girl's purse and her phone was found there where she had left him behind, and their bikes were still parked at the entrance. So he's driving down the highway, pulls over at a small trail, goes hiking, finds 2 girls, and abducts them. Now, 6 months later, their bodies are found by a creek in the woods, 25 miles away. Now, if you look at Delphi, I believe the guy's driving down 25. He pulls over at a small trail. He starts hiking. He waits. And why does he wait? Because it's the reverse date of Evansdale. This day was hand-picked for that. And he waited until somebody arrived. Now, when they did arrive, he got there, he abducted him, firstly, and then killed him, but then left him by the creek and left. It's the exact same perfect MO. It's identical. And a reverse date. What are the odds? A date can only reverse to one other date. If you reverse any date, there's only one other date of humanity that it's ever going to land on. And the date that those 2 exact crimes happened on an exact reversible date, no. That's what made me start looking more into it. No, we have no idea of that. They never announced a cause of death in either case, because only the person that committed the murders knows that. That stops false confessions. Well, what I mean is by reversible date, Evansdale was done on 7/13/12. Now, if you reverse 7/13/12, then you get 2/13/17. Okay, February 13th, 2017. That's the Delphi murders. You reverse that, you get 7/13, July 13th, 2012. Reversible completely. Yeah, I put some thought to that. I really did. And you know what? I'll go beyond that. This is kind of my reason for his breakdown. Now, I put him in Evansdale. That's in 2012. and in Delphi. Now, we know what happened down in St. Louis, but if we go back in time, we go back to September. That's when he sexually assaulted the 77-year-old lady who complied. I want to point that out. She complied. Then the following month, that was in October, may have been his birthday, he was pulled over on the highway for driving erratic and acting insane, very drunk. That was two times. Okay. Now we go to the following month, into November. Now he walks into a Catholic supply store, commits that crime, first-degree murder, sexual assault. Well, why did the guy suddenly go do this? He had never had the law called on him before. Why did he suddenly go out and start doing all of this at that time? I'll tell you what I believe it is. It's because of C.C. Moore. When these crimes were committed, he had no idea that they could trace you down by ancestral DNA. Not until John D. Miller and the Golden State Kill, when that started happening, C.C. Moore made the news. Then it was in the paper that Delphi investigators were going to be using the same technology as got John D. Miller. Like, all right. Yes, it took her 2 months to nail that guy. 2 months to get John D. Miller. We ain't got long. That was my thought. And I think that that's what got him right there. Because when that came out, he's like, crap. And I'll tell you why. Because all of his personal emails began with Scotsman. They got a family tree. His family. It goes back to Robert the Bruce of Scotland. Okay? They got DNA in that ancestral database, and he knew the moment they looked, it would take them no time, and they was going to be hitting his door. We got you. That's why he started going out and committing crimes like that. Here I am. I'm going out my way. That's the way he was looking at it. You're going to be coming anytime now. I know that. I'm going out, going to do this. I have no idea on that. They never mentioned no cause of death. I don't know that. You know what, Marcus? Go look up Evansdale, Iowa. It's what's her name, Elizabeth Collins and Larry Cook. Now in Evansdale, because Iowa does not have the death penalty, but the citizens of there around Evansdale got together and were demanding the death penalty when this guy was caught. We want him dead, but they don't have the death penalty. Now, if it is my suspect, since they don't have the death penalty, St. Louis didn't go for the death penalty. That only leaves Delphi to go for the death penalty, provided, mind you. But I'm telling you right now, it is the guy. I'm telling you it is. I already know it is. Yeah, see, Danielle, jeez, man. Yeah, you know what? I put stuff out for days on this. Days, people. Anybody that's not here is because you don't want to be here. And if you don't want to be here, thanks for not showing up. I appreciate it. Hey, is there anybody here who is an old-time subscriber that never ever chats, never says anything? I know. You know what? But you are here now. But you're here now. So that's what it means to me. You're here. We're here when I need you. You're an old-time subscriber that never chats. What creepy guy comment? Oh, today was your first. What? No, today wasn't your first. No way, dude. I've seen Mom Jeremy on there before. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, right there's one. Yeah, like Jerry Rocks. Okay. Yeah, great. Well, you see, it's you guys, man, that is like when somebody gets on there and says, old subscriber, never comment. I'm like, yeah, you really don't. I have no idea who they are, and I'm like, man, they watch all my videos. I don't know them. Well, you're not wasting my time. You're not. Yeah, it is. It is, and a lot of times I miss questions like that. When you type them like that, if it's scrolling really fast. But I try to get over there and peer at it real quick. I never really read the questions, so people sitting there at home, they might not have much of any idea what I'm answering to. So I will try to remark what you're asking. Well, thanks for being here, Miranda, and I am certainly glad. Okay, great. Well, all right, but you know what? Let me get back on the case. Is there any questions that people? Hold on. Yeah, I got to okay that. Well, okay. No, I had brought that up in the past. That someone had said. Now, this is one of those things where someone had said that the family had heard like more of the recording, and they said that before that they had said something about a creepy man. So I don't think that that's the case, because they was never allowed to listen to the audio. So they wouldn't really know that. Now, they may have listened to parts of the audio where the girls were talking, but even at that, I know that like law enforcement would never let them hear that without them saying, yeah, we won't tell a soul about this. This is not leaving our lips, period. And so again, it's one of those things that you hear and people say came from the family. Well, they don't tell the family that. Why? Because the family could go tell people and it would be ever. That's exactly why. So when people say family, I don't really, I don't care. But people think that when they mention family, that people are like, oh, they heard it from the family. Like it really means things. It don't to me. If somebody says, I heard it from law enforcement. Well, who? Who in law enforcement is going to tell you that? Nobody. It's taking so long to charge him, Victoria, because he is in jail down there for first-degree murder. He is facing life behind bars without parole, and another state cannot just walk in there and talk to him concerning another crime. Period. He'll be stopped at the door every single time. No, not until the case is over. When that case is over this year, then they'll go talk to him. And guess what? Charges will be filed at that time. There it is. The only time I'm going to answer that question on this show. Because any other time, that's the only question I answer. I answer it repeatedly. I answer it 5 times per show until it's just me sitting there answering that question repeatedly. How does my guy? He don't. I don't think he was supposed to. I don't think that he was supposed to. Look, they know the guy who did it. They do. And if they were talking to him, and they may have been, it's like the movie The Shack. Well, I never watched The Shack. But The Shack ain't my kind of movie. It's not something that I would be enthused to watch, and I could have watched it, but it wouldn't really clear anything up. As far as I think that him bringing up that movie was the fact that, look, here was a guy who lost a daughter. Okay. Turned around, she was gone. Okay. Come find out, the girl was murdered in a shack. And the guy goes to that shack, and I guess from the thing of the movie, you may say black lady, and this black lady apparently is God or somebody in that, that's kind of helping him see through this. So I think that maybe he was trying to hit upon the suspect's conscience that, look, man, people suffered because of this, and their lives are destroyed. And yeah, and thanks, Denai, right. Well, I don't think that would have worked there, Tony. Oh, I mean, because the trail's back the other way. If you go off the south side of the bridge, you're not trespassing. I mean, you are trespassing once you go off that bridge so far. But to go back the other way, then, if they was taking you off the south side, they would know you was lying. They would know. I don't know, but even at that, I mean, would they set a TV up where he could watch it? Probably not, because he's not charged. He's not charged with that crime. I mean, why would they want him to see it? It'd be one thing if he was charged, then they would make sure he could see it. But not being charged, they wouldn't. The only person, to my knowledge, the only person that has told him that he committed those crimes is me. I explained every damn thing that he ever did, man. All of it, everything. I says, and then, and I went through every little aspect of that because I know exactly how these two were done. Not the inside word, not that, but I know, the lowdown on how it was carried out. On what? Are you talking about the shack? Well, okay. Yeah, well, no, yeah, and I'm with you. Like I said, I never watched the movie, but that's where he goes to that shack. I mean, you see, that's where he runs into that lady. And from what I was understanding, she was explaining to him some like really deep stuff that you really wouldn't expect just a person to know. But I don't know that. I never watched the movie. Well, you see, Dana, that's you. Guess what? My family, law enforcement. Guess what, Dana? I was law enforcement. Yeah, my brother, uncle, he was the head detective in Howard County. Law enforcement. Go law enforcement. But you say, my family's law enforcement, and I know they wouldn't. Well, so is mine. And I'm going to tell you right now, Dana, they are. And if you don't believe that, if you seriously don't believe that, wait around. Because when it comes out, you'll be like, and I told him I knew stuff. Okay, he brought up the shack because he said he had watched the movie. That's why. That's why Carter said it, because it dealt with the death of a young girl, and there it is. I know people want to really dwell on this shack thing. It's nothing big. It's nothing conspiratorial. It don't go beyond that. It don't. It don't. He just brought a movie up. For the love of God, it don't mean much else. Because I'm going to tell you right now that if they knew who the suspect was, they would not be having a press conference talking about the movie The Shack. No, he has not been found guilty yet down there. They have not completed his trial at this time. In fact, they have not scheduled the next time he's got to go on. I do not know if Libby was targeted. I can't say that she was. So was Abby. But I mean, like what? I'm not that guy. I can't tell you that. Why would you ask me a question like that? How would I know that? I am not psychic. I don't like psychics. If somebody comes on here and says, well, I'm psychic and I get a feeling, well, guess what? I got a feeling too. I got a feeling you're out here. Psychics are idiots, man. Nancy, you know what? Yeah, you know what, Nancy? He's got blue eyes. Believe it and get out of here. You're you are part of the reason, Nancy. You know that? What do you do, man? Do you just go around and believe every little freaking word you say? Oh, I heard the FBI said. No, they didn't. You're an idiot, Nance. Go to bed. Yeah. Cops are tough as nails. I'll tell you why. It's because when they're given a badge, they're God. They can tell you exactly what to do, and either A, you comply, or B, they'll stack charges so deep you'll never get out of jail. Cops. You know what? Never liked them. Yeah, it did, Bella. Yes, Bella, it did. Exactly say that. Thank you. That was my whole thing toward Nancy. Yeah, he was. You know what? He was emotional. He was. And again, when we go back to the first year press conference, he said a bunch of things where he lied. Things were right when he said them. I said that was the words out of my mouth. He is lying. He's lying right there. He is lying. Hang on 1 second, Leslie. So, upon the fact that he was lying in the second one, he's very emotional. Well, he had to be emotional. He wanted to be emotional. He's trying to express things to people in an emotion that, hey, it's been 2 years. We don't have the guy. We're really shook up about it. We appreciate your support ever since the beginning, but not only that, mostly for the family. Yeah, he was supposed to. That's how they do it. Well, look, man, Doug Carter ain't out there handing out tickets, man. He's the spokesman. He's the guy that speaks. You want that guy that can speak. That's him. He don't tell the truth when he's speaking, but one thing is fact. He'll stand up there and make a motion and this and that, anything to get the media to like fall into the side he wants. That's Doug Carter's job. Now, what do I think about GK? He did not do it. He didn't do it, and I'll say it for this reason. He was arrested on April 5th. He is in Carroll County Jail on a Carroll County crime. Okay. Now, he is represented by a Carroll County public defender. If so, it's Manahan. But at the same time, if they felt that he had anything to do with the Delphi murders, anything at all, they had 15 days to go in there and talk to him because there they can. There they can. Okay. They can go in and talk to him about that. Now, they can't out of state, but right there, you bet your ball sack they can. So they would have known full well that he had did it. And that briefing would have been about, here's the suspect. We filed murder charges. Have a great day. But it wasn't. That's because he had nothing to do with it. Zero. Nada. He is not even a person of interest. And when I started going down through the criteria, it was, again, just like most of them, it was more than 5, but less than 10 minutes till I could say, yep, ruled out. What do you mean, do I think law enforcement is wrong? Here, let me show that for you. I like your terminology. Saying law enforcement is wrong. I said that they are playing along with it. They're playing along. I got 65 thumbs up. And look at me, I'm still talking. 65 thumbs up. Man. Oh, 105 people and 66 thumbs up, man. Why do people even stop by? What's the meaning of this, man? Well, okay, it's amazing to you how he got out of there with no blood on him. Well, that's like saying that you know how the crime was done, and you don't. You have no idea how the crime was done. I mean, maybe you have it in your mind that, he went in with like a machete or something. And I don't think that that's right at all. At all. I know that the girls were not shot, or I definitely feel they weren't shot. But we don't know how that occurred. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. We don't. And everybody acts like, oh, he'd have blood all over him. Why? Why would he? I mean, yeah, Daisy, yes, there is. And you know what? This is when I wish I had green screen hooked up right here. I'll try to draw it out for you. Okay, like this. Okay, you know what? See our dog? Have a nice day. Later, pal. Now, when you get to the bridge, okay, and you go across, when you hit that far south side, Now, if you're familiar with walking across that bridge and had done it like many times in the past, you can walk across it in about 8.5 minutes straight shot. It's a long walk across. But now, when you get to that other side, say it's right here, then you got to go down a hill because this bridge above the water is 70 feet above it. 70 feet. That means that this hill travels down to that 70 feet. You see where I'm at? Well, you got to go down this hill and then you hit the main hill going down this way. So you come down this way and then go down, and then you hit that private drive that goes up. You know the one I'm talking about, right there on the south side. It shows it on Google Maps, and it goes up. But then you keep going down toward the creek right there. Now, from there on down, you go to a second hill. Okay, this is another hill you got to walk down. Now, when you get to the bottom where it flattens out where the creek is, but back this way, then there's a car path that comes in here and goes here, goes under that bridge, and keeps going up to the creek on the east side. He walked him down this hill, got to that car path, and then followed it down to the creek and crossed. So there is a secondary car path down there, but it's not the driveway. It's on down that hill. You got to get clear to the bottom of that hill before it hits that secondary car path. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. It's a jaunt, but when you're going downhill, it's really just watching your feet. And you know what? Even getting out the north side wouldn't have been that difficult. There is a ravine there, but it's not difficult to go down or through, but it's a little time consuming. But it wasn't really treacherous land. Now, when we went there, when the three of us went out there, what was that, July of last year or something? Holy crap, man. I mean, like when you look off at the sides, I mean, it looks like the trees are ground under you. You know, it don't look like you're that high up when you know, but you go out there in February, you look down, it's like, whoa, way out. I don't know about a hub of cold cases. This one isn't cold. You know, I mean, the Delphi case isn't cold. A case wouldn't go cold in 2 years, and they got like phone tips lined up for the next 5 decades. It's not going to be cold. When they go down and talk to my suspect, they will file charges and they will have him back here. This I tell you now. Well, go ahead, Killer Crimes. If you got any questions, throw it up there. If you already added one, I didn't see it. Throw it up now. Oh yeah, geez, Tony. Yeah, he did. And here's the thing: if she had it in her pants waistband and she crossed that creek, it probably, yes, that is very true. Killer Crimes. If he did, somebody would have heard it. But if they crossed that creek and she had it in her waistband, it probably got wet right there, and it may have been pinging everywhere. But the thing is it was at one spot. I mean, it was right there. I mean, it didn't take off and go anywhere. He didn't take him back to his vehicle and go for a ride around Delphi. I mean, don't even think that, man. If you do, apparently you're not from Delphi and you're living in a fantasy land somewhere. That don't go down. They were there. The crime did not take that long. You know, it didn't take that long. He was seen leaving at what was that? 257, I think it was. 247. That's when flannel shirt guy seen him walking out toward where his car was at that time. So if you look at that from Abby's picture was taken at 217, we know it's 8.5 minutes across, but we know that they walked across first. So you would add time like 12 plus minutes to that, putting it like right around 2:30 at abduction time. So from abduction time to when he was seen leaving, you know, what is that? That's not long at all. I mean, the crime just didn't take that long. It didn't. Once he got him over there, man, woo whoopty woo, man, and you know, he was gone. He was out of there. He was leaving. So all right. Hold it. I forget. Did I answer your question okay? Leslie Hill. I just want to make sure that I answered that all good and proper. You know what, Monica? I really don't know. I have no idea. It was never stated by law enforcement exactly how long he was in there. Um, down in St. Louis, I don't know. I mean, he went in. We was told what he did and left, but not as to how long it took. But you see, a lot of things like that, law enforcement is not going to hand out. They're not going to tell you. Because and it may differ, but even at that, it don't, because it's still part of their investigation into what happened. Even if they got the person they feel did it, it's still part of the investigation, just like the timestamp. They wasn't going to give that to me. But you see, I felt that timestamp on when Bridge Guy's photo was taken, that would have told me how far behind him he was and how well he knew crossing that bridge, because we got the walking time. We got walking time on a fast walk, on a medium walk, and on a slow walk the whole way through, so that we can place, like, okay, walking at a fast hop from here to there would take this long. So, we had all that down, so that we can look at it. Now, I did that timestamp video, and it was understand how this timestamp video came along. Greeno was telling me, or was talking about Cheyenne, like I knew who she was. And I'm like, who's Cheyenne? Oh, she's the one that was on the south side of the bridge. When? It's like, wow, I don't know. It was right before 3 o'clock. I said, how do you know that? Oh, she had a picture taken from there. She took a picture on the south side of the bridge at before 3 o'clock. Yeah. So he went and got it. I looked at timestamp and I'm like, well, if the guy was seen leaving at 2:47, okay, and he was leaving from here, walking back to the 501 as she was coming in. Now, there's no leaves on the trees. Understand that. This is February for at least a piece, you know. So when he was walking up there, I'm sure that he was very mindful of people that would be walking that trail. Keep an eye out for him. He didn't want to be seen coming from that direction. You see where I'm at? So if he seen Cheyenne coming that way, he held his position, likely behind a tree, till she could pass at a safe distance, seeing nobody else, and then continued on. So being the fact that she's seen nobody, that set me with the timestamp. I can say, well, this occurred at 2:17. We know that at this time, from walk time, he would have been behind him, back to that bend, walking up, and then from there, about 8 minutes at a fast walk across. So we can place the approximate time of abduction at, and I forget what time that was, to on down, because we had walked it, on across. The crime was committed. Now we know the time from the crime scene back to the 501 at a fast pace, unless he had stopped. So we got the whole timestamp figured out because of Cheyenne. Without Cheyenne being there, I wouldn't have really known, except to say, well, I could have put the rest together, but it was Cheyenne being there saying I didn't see anything. That was kind of a big help on that. Yeah, and Derek did. Derek did. He flannel shirt guy. But understand, flannel shirt guy arrived after Cheyenne did. Now, Cheyenne arrived at Freedom Bridge. Now, that's the bridge on Highway 25. Don't confuse that with Monon High Bridge Trail, which is the railroad bridge. They're two separate bridges. Freedom Bridge starts the trail, and then you walk down it, and then you get back to the Monon High Bridge Trail, walked out to the south side. That's where the trail would end at. Okay. Now, she came from that parking spot there at Freedom Bridge and walked all the way down to the railroad bridge and then crossed to the south side, took a picture, and I think it was at I forget the exact time, so I won't say, but it was prior to 3 o'clock, and said that she had seen nothing. Now, flannel shirt guy, and I got his exact time of arrival, arrived at Freedom Bridge. Now, he was walking down to the railroad bridge. Okay. Now, I've seen this guy walk. I know who he is. He's more of a slow, lumbering, kind of a stock, take things in. He's there to hike and view things. Okay. So he's on his routine. He's walking down to the bridge. Now, he gets down there and he stays there because I've seen him there at the bridge. He will go down to that railroad bridge and he will sit there and stand there for a while before going back. Now, he's seen Cheyenne and her friend on the far side. Now, from the railroad bridge, he goes walking back. Now, he gets to a secondary entrance where the girls were dropped off. Now, Derek's there and he's out walking the 505 and looking around for him and asked him, since he had came from the railroad bridge, if he had seen two young girls down there, ages 13 and 14. He was told by him, no, I didn't see any girls down there that age, but I did see a woman on the other side with her friend. So that's how we know that. And Flannel Shirt Guy had already seen this guy leaving. But the only issue was the girls weren't answering their phone. It wasn't alarm yet. There wasn't like a reason for law enforcement to be called. It was two girls that was there that weren't answering their phone, but they should be here. No, I didn't see them down there. So, we look back on it as murder. Like everybody knew it was murder then. Well, nobody did. This was two girls that was at that trail that weren't answering their phone. It could have died. They didn't know. I mean, nobody knew the cause. They figured they'd probably be there about any minute till it started getting later. You see where I'm at? And that was kind of the reasoning on it. Why wouldn't what people hearing the couple argue? What people argue? What are you talking about, Tony? Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Leslie. I know. And that's what hit me, man. When I heard that right there, I'm like, well, wait a minute, man. We have pieces here we can put together and get kind of a layout as to how long this crime took place. And once I had that Cheyenne information, man, that's when it kind of came together. Now, the thing is that upon coming up with all this and sitting down, because it took Reno a little while, because, I mean, he understood what it was I was doing, but then he's like, oh, right. So, once we got that time set, all put together with everything included, then, he did the editing, man. He put a long time on that. So I told him he could go ahead and upload it to his channel. But if you want to see the timestamp video, put it like Delphi Murders, Anthony Greeno. No, Delphi Murders time. No, put in timestamp Anthony Greeno. It'll pull it up. It's a good video on the time. I think that we could have now, like right now, man, we could have put it together in a better way, far better way. Also, I do have Greeno news. If anybody wants Greeno news, do you want Greeno news? Throw up a yay. Oh, okay, nobody wants Greeno news. Cool enough. All right. Well, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing, man. It ain't leaving my lips now. No way. No. Sorry. No. Oh, all right. Okay. Tony went down to court yesterday when he went, and he took a plea bargain. And he's got to do 31 more days, and then we'll do a year and a half on Carroll County probation. So he'll be out in 31 more days, and he'll probably be right here doing my editing, I hope. Because I don't know where he's going to go. That dude ain't got any place to go, man. He has no place in this world to go. But I got good news for Greeno, ladies and gentlemen. I got the best news that Greeno could ever hear, man. I got news that's just going to blow him down. He's never going to believe this, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I found remedy. Oh, I just did, girl. He went to court yesterday. He got he took a plea. He's got to do 31 more days, but then he'll be released to Carroll County probation. He's got 31 more, well, now 30 days. So in 30 days, he'll be out. A felony 5 is what he did. Well, yeah, I know, but, Greeno likes it that way. He does. He don't like having a place. I don't understand it. I don't. Man, I gotta have a place. I gotta have me and my dog, man. I gotta have me and my puppy, man. If I ain't got me and my puppy, well, I just don't have dick. There it is. Although I have been considering a motorbike. Man, I need to buy me a motorcycle and just cruise. Just go cruise, man. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to repeat the case, but I wasn't there. I wasn't. So I can't take one side to another because I wasn't there. I read the report on it and I read what was said after by the court concerning what she said. I heard what the judge had said about him and, the whole nine, but I wasn't there, man. So I can't really state. You know what? He'll be out, and I'm positive that when he gets out, he will put a video up and we'll talk exclusively about all of it. But in that meantime, yeah, you know what? Everybody should have a dog. Dog's what makes life worth living. Well, I told him. I said, you're going to make. I sent him a letter, and I got it out today, right after hearing the word from Tony. I sent him a letter, and I told him, I said, you know what? If you get out in 30 days, I said, man, we can still make this happen. We can still finish this case out right. Because man, I thought he was going to be doing long, or they was going to give him the habitual or something. It didn't happen. So, yeah, yeah, man. You know, dogs, man. I know it's hard for me not to talk about dogs, though. I just love dogs. Dogs are my biggest thing in life. So anyway, it is after 8. Does anybody want to continue here? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know what's happening. Oh, you know what? I could do that right now. Why are you lost? Lost on what, man? Yeah, he is. Right. Yeah. Southern Bounty. TB. You know what? I'm going to have to type it in because the other thing is Facebook, man. They take a side, man. You can't mention the guy's name, man. You can't mention his name. No way. You can type it out though. That's easy enough, and you can hit enter like that. You can do that. That's cool with us, says YouTube. But no, don't you mention his name, pal. To better demonstrate what you input. Yeah, Donna got me. I know. You know what? Yeah, here's the thing. I got OBS. I got OBS, and I had set that up in the past, and it's gone off my computer. And I thought, man, I already downloaded this and I had it all set up. Why is it gone? Did my computer just one day go, nah, we don't want it? I don't know. So I set it back up. Now, when I get that functional, but here's my only issue with OBS. When I'm doing live, okay, I can't set it up like this. Exactly. I can't. Now, I can go in and set up like a live show like this to where you could be here ready for it. But when I started on OBS, it's following up on a different link. But on OBS, then I can use the green screen behind me and go like, oh, you know what? I'm going to put this on. I got like once I get that set up, man, then the live shows will be awesome. Now, once I get that set up with the mixer board, then we're on. Then we're on. Oh, yeah, dude, man. I got a blue. Yeah, I got the Yeti Blue, man. That's the best mic in the world. I love my mic. Man, when I got that mic, because you know what? They said, like, man, even if your video is crappy, man, you want people to hear you right. And I said, bet your backside. Cool, make sure they can hear me just fine. I still got crappy video though, but man, I got a webcam, man. You can't get webcam with really decent video. It's really hard, man. Now you can get like a laptop, man. I was watching Ted Barris, and I asked him, man, I'm like, man, how do you get such good video? And he's like, dude, man, I just use my laptop. It's got excellent video. And I'm like, bet your backside it does. That stuff is awesome as all get out, man. I got high def 4K the whole nine. Yeah, everybody does, Chicken Little. Everybody says that. Everybody indeed. Everyone ever will say that. And do you know why? Because I have said already that I don't agree that their suspect committed it. They go, I wish you was more open. Well, it ain't about being open. When the person didn't do it and I can look at it and tell you that, there it is. There it is. That's not being closed. I mean, I could go, well, that GK guy, oh, I'd like to take that. Yeah, I'm going to roll the dice and say he did it. No, that ain't me, man. If I can't find any evidence to support it, then I'm not even going to open my mouth to mention it, period. No, won't be me. Yeah, it is. Well, and doubt. Okay. Now, I'm going back some months ago now when I had asked subscribers, people that I remember saying in the video that may have, if they could help me out to support a 4K camera to where I could go live with 4K. And every single buddy and their brother says, oh, you're trying to make money from murder. And that's the last time I'll mention that. Because anybody that said that, I started booting them right off my channel because I don't want their hypocritical little backsides around me. My channel was not making money like it used to before the murders. Long before the murders. I was making money on YouTube. Good money. Decent money. And when my channel restarted, I could not make money. And if I needed a piece of equipment for funding for my channel that does not involve that, then I will ask for it at any time I like, and thank you very much. There it is. That's why. But, I mean, not really so much 800. But, I mean, they got like the 4K webcams. Yeah, I don't buy that, man. That stuff, I think, is from China. I mean, when I seen people compare them online, I'm like, man, that ain't even better than what I have. I think they just named it 4K. Is it? Well, we call it the 4K webcam. Its name is 4K. You know what? I thought about that, at least to a degree. Yeah. Yes, it did, Monica, and nobody can stand on that as fact in the least. It was just hearsay. Leave it at that. But I thought about like taking that picture I got, man. I made a PNG of Bridge Guy, just him where it was cut out. Put that on the shirt, and then at the bottom I'll caption it and say, "This is TB. This is him." You know what? Yes, and I do like that. I do. Nicolina, because you know what? I have looked into a lot of cases in my life. I'm not talking about just one or two. When I sit down and started going through it and like looking at them, I thought, holy crap. And I was still listing some off, man. I had like on a text file, like cases this long that I had looked into in the past. And I would, but I don't want it to already have a person that was caught. Okay. But okay. I mean, like, say if I was looking at Jack the Ripper. Well, yeah, ain't no way I could look. I mean, you see where I'm at. I mean, there's no way. Only thing you can do is follow up on what other people have looked at. But it's what just the Zodiac killer. Things like that. You can look into them, but there's no way that you could solve them. I mean, without the DNA or the missing piece, you can't solve them. But that would be the only thing. It's just maybe profile them. Ted Cruz, he may have done it. It could be Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz may have. Yeah, my computer will. I mean, I got 4K settings. I mean, even in my editor, I can run 4K as long as it's live. But well, okay. It's like my video camera. I like it, man. It's got super audio, real good video, and I love my regular camera, but I can't go live with it because it can't plug in to go live. Now I can set that up and sit here and speak, make a video, and then edit and upload, but I can't run live with it. This is the only camera I can run live, but this is the Logitech. This is the best Logitech that they got, and I've had it for years. But it doesn't It doesn't give like a dynamic good picture, but nobody needs to see me that well. But if I put something up in the back, then I do want it to go out in good video. I want that to look nice. Then you can really edit up, man, and make it look all super dupe. Yeah, there are. There are. There's a lot of them, and some of them I've looked into, but I don't really sit around and just look into crime all the time. I mean, a case has got to capture my attention. Now, I mean, if I run back through some of them over my life that I've kind of looked into, is like Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, of course, like that, Zodiac, no doubt, Jean-Benet Ramsey, OJ, just certain ones where the media comes out and then they get you, and draw your attention to it. Well, when your attention is drawn to it, then you kind of want to look further into it. But when I go back on those cases, I didn't really have a means of investigation. There was no way to do that. I mean, OJ was like right there at like Windows 95, if you see my point. It wasn't really a way where you could sit and do that at home. Inquiry? Well, I'm not trying to make money at it. I mean, look, here's my honest thing. When Delphi completes, when it's over, when there is nothing more to say upon that, I'm probably going to take my channel back to where it was beforehand, before all that. It would be much in the way like Icons is. Same thing he talks about, identically. Identically what Icons talks about. And because whenever I'm sitting here in the daytime and I think I need to make a video on that, it's never about this crime. It's about on something happening in the world, that's out there. And what I do, I go to Icon's channel, and you know who's talking about it? He is. Because that man knows, he gets it. Oh, X777. Well, thank you. And if you have another one, you can just go ahead and lay it out, Crimes. Yeah. Well, and it, I do, but at the same time, I mean, like if you look at OJ, and let's say we could backtrack and OJ just happened. Well, I couldn't really find anything on OJ. You see where I'm at? There would be very little that I could do that law enforcement would be way ahead of me. But in this particular case, given these particular circumstances, that allowed me to get that name and look into him at the same time they were. And I know now that there's a holdup. Now, a person can state that any way they want. You can say that any way you want. You can leave here and say, Michael J. Katt said law enforcement was lying. If that's what you want, go right ahead. You can go say that. The truth is, I said they're playing along. They're playing stupid. Why? Because they're not going to give you the guy's name and say, well, we can't file charges on him yet, but we know it's him. Well, but you haven't filed charges. No. What has he got to say about it? Well, nothing, because we haven't spoken with him. So you haven't spoken with the guy, but the match came back. So you said, we're going to file charges. Right. Well, when are you going to bring him here? We don't know, but you filed charges. Yes. Okay. Well, that's really good. They won't do that. They're going to go down and talk to him, people. That's exactly what they do. They talk to you concerning the crime to get the information that you have, to get your answers. Don't matter whether you confess or not, they'll go on with the charges, but they're not going to do it until they can speak with you. Period. Don't care what, I don't care if your family was the head of the KGB. That's how they do it. And there it is. You know what? I don't think it's about that, Karen. I really don't. You know what? My suspect is going to be in jail forever. He's never getting out. He knows that. Okay. Now, I'm just going to use Delphi as an example. If they went down there and talked to him, well, he knows blatantly well what was left in Delphi. He knew that. He already knew. He thought he was going to get over at that time until the CC Moore came out. However, He knows what they got. They know he's got his DNA. I believe they got his fingerprints. They got his photo, his video. They got his audio. They got everything. They knew he was en route to his brothers. They could talk to his wife and his brother. They can find everything out, and they can say, yeah, this was you. We got two people that seen you that can verify it's you, dude. I mean, he could sit there and go, nope, nope, wasn't me, nope. Well, he's going to admit to it because now he's only got one thing: how bad his crimes were. That's what he's going to have to live on. Just like Charles Manson. Charles Manson was worth millions when he died. Why? Interviews. Because I mean, that's how he was making money. He had millions of dollars. No place really to spend it on aside of maybe commissary, but that's what TB is going to have. The same thing. He's going to need those murders. And not only that, he wants those bad murders. Why? Because when he's in prison, he wants under protective custody. He wants looked over. He don't want thrown into population where they're going to kill him, because that's exactly what would happen. He don't want that. He's going to confess. He's going to take any way out he can to make his crimes as big as possible, to make that money here on out, because he's got nothing but time forever. So yeah, he's going to talk when they get down there, but he ain't going to have a way out, and he knows it. He knows he ain't got a way out. They say it don't matter if you don't confess, we're going after death. We got you. You know it. You know it as clear as you're sitting here, Teeb. So yeah, he's going to talk. Maybe, Lisa. I never looked into it, but I may in due time. I get people ask me to look into a few cases. I had a person email me last night that asked me looked into another case and a couple. The thing is that right now it's summertime. You know what? Where I live at, I maintain the pool, man. I maintain the pool. I got stuff I'm out doing all the time. I am not sitting in here looking at this case full time. And I say that for this reason. I have hit where I don't believe that I can find any further on this guy. I have wrapped it up as far as the circumstances, the facts, and everything that goes upon my suspect go. His build, his frame, his voice, his motive, his travel, his financial circumstances, his everything went into this. So there's not really a way that I can raise that any higher. Right now, that's what I have. Now, if I took everything that I have looked into and found, and I took that to a main guy that was working this case, who had never heard of this dude. I want to point that out. He had never heard of this guy. And I said, look, I got this information on this guy right here. Once he read through that, his words would be, yeah, this guy needs investigated. You're absolutely right. And they would look further into it. Now, you see, I don't have his DNA. You see, I don't have those things that can nail him. I'm not the judge and the jury and the executioner, nor am I playing that. I'm saying that this guy is already getting hit by all that down there. It isn't going to change one iota what I say. But the fact is, I know that he was over here. I know that same guy was right over here in Delphi and Evansdale. Know that pretty much down to a 98% accuracy. The only thing stopping me from saying it's absolutely him, can't see the guy's face well enough in the video. If you could, you'd see that it's him right there. But you can't. There it is. 88. Okay, here's my request, man. Let me ask a request here. 108 people. God, that's 12. 12 thumbs up. Can I get it? Can I get 100 thumbs up? God, that would mean the most to me to have 100 thumbs up before I got off of here. Ah, look. Wolf's over there imagining the same. Right on. Way to go, Wolf. I seen the 100. Got you covered, man. 90. Okay, that's closer. Closer, but it's not 100, man. 92. Oh, there we go. Charlie, how you doing? It is 88, exactly. I said I wanted to see 100. Oh, it's just that little thumb up at the bottom. You click that, it's got thumb up and a thumb down. Oh, you can click the thumb down if you want, but I just don't want you confused with people that I booted off my channel. I always tell them to make sure to come back and give me a thumbs down. That way I can keep track of them. It's foggy there. Where you at? I'm taking a guess. Virginia. All right. 95. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for the thumbs up and being here. I am going to ask one more time if anybody has any questions while I wrap this up. Throw them up. Oh, 2 hours from Delphi? I live probably about 30 minutes east of Delphi. If you know where Burlington is, I live like 2 miles east of Burlington. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we always have. I mean, as far as yes, I did. I heard from Tony yesterday concerning him. He's got to do 31 days, and he will be released now today. Actually, 30 days, and will be released, and will then be on Carroll County probation for a year and a half. His words were, "I'll never pull it off, not with probation. They'll never see me." But I have remedy for him. Know that. I have remedy. Believe me, man, it's going to be a different life for that dude when he gets out now. You know what? Me too. I love the way he edits, man. Man, he's a great editor. He loves to edit. I hate to edit. I can edit like he does. I hate to do it. He'll sit there for 3 days editing. 3 days on one video. Me, in an hour, I'm like, yeah, it works, man. Let's just throw it up, man. Yeah, they'll know what I mean. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about that as long as they know what I mean. But yeah, man, he has like the little sound effect. I mean, like all of it, man, really pulls out the bells and whistles. I love that, man. I do. And that is, again, man, back in a different time here, I'm going back about 2 years ago. That was our thing, man. Me and him would go out, man. We'd get it filmed and whatnot. We'd sit down because we would talk about how we wanted to edit it. There's like different ways of editing as to how you're playing it. So we'd go over that and kind of come up with how we wanted it, because we would sit there, whether I was editing or he was editing, we'd both be right there while we was editing. Now I hate sitting there doing that. He loves it. So I'm glad he loves it. That's how he pays the rent when he's living on my couch. Ever go on a ride along with Greeno? What do you mean? Go on a ride with him? What are you implying, man? Oh, no, huh? No, man, that was like reality television. I don't play that. That's not my bag. Yeah. So anyway, 98 thumbs up. Well, let me tell you, that beats 98 by just a couple, by a few. Well, anyway, hold it. Wait, is that true? Oh my God, I got more thumbs up than I have people here. I need to take a picture of that. Hang on, let me screenshot this. Bam, there we go. Now I can say, see, told you. Is Carroll County going to accept the probation transfer from Marion County? Well, hopefully EBA. Yeah, they will, because they've already set that in to go. So 101. Holy cow. Woof. Come here. Look. Come here. Look. Thank you much. So everyone, I appreciate everybody being here, and I'm going to make the going like 1 hour and a half. We'll wait till the 8:30 mark, and I'm out of here. I appreciate it, and if I have anything to say between now and next Tuesday at 7 p.m. the same exact time, I will make that out, and then we will have further to discuss next Tuesday. But until then, I will probably be here next Tuesday. Thanks for being here. See you then. Peace, everyone.